Hi, my name is Huan He. I'm currently a research scientist working in BIS and mainly working on software development and data visualization research. I'm happy to share our prototype development for a tool for biomedical literature search based on large language model and data visualization. So let's begin. So as we all know, in this academic world, there are so many papers every year. And just like Medicine alone, it will be more than 1 million papers per year, and I guess maybe more. So you can picture this one, like every morning when you wake up, you will faced with like more than 4,000 papers. And that will be also increase. And maybe next month you will face like 5,000 or 6,000. I cannot say it's increasing that much, but definitely it will be in future. So as a result, when we do some searching, we will get so many results. And the search engine like PubMed, Google Scholar, and other search engine, they will try to throw everything to you, like the title, abstract, and match term, and publication date, and other linkage metadata information. So it's so much information. Like this one, I show examples like Alzheimer's disease. When we search in PubMed, it will throw you like 200,000 results. It's like for endless list. We can scroll down, and it never ends. If I got this list, maybe I will just search or check the first, second, maybe third, at most the fourth page, then I will stop and give up. It's too much results there. It's really hard to get an overview. So as a researcher, I have a question about this one. So how can we enhance this search and analyze of this result based on large language model and data visualization? Maybe we can get an overview of all these results on a single peek, or maybe we can get more insights quickly than just scroll down one by one. So we have this solution. So based on text embedding and visual analytics. So first we build a data pipeline to calculate the text embedding. So we collect the raw data from PubMed and iState, and we extract the information we needed for embedding. And then we can use large language model to get their text embedding to convert the text to a vector, a high dimensional vector. And then we can have some like Disney and other algorithm to run the dimension reduction to get its 2D representation. Then we can save all of those information in a database and put it, run full text index. Then we can get some Elasticsearch to run, and then we can search it. Then the next step, we build a web-based application based on WebGL and many like interactive features. Then we can support a user to let them use web browser to explore the data. They don't need to install any software on their laptop. Let's check some details of the design. So in this prototype here, we use like 1/9 of the whole PubMed data, like about 400,000 papers, and we map it on this 2D map. So on this map, each paper is visualized as a point using its 2D embedding. And each point is colored by its year. And also we can change to other attributes like journal or match term or other attributes there. And each point we use its citation, the number of citation as its size. So if you can see a bigger point on this map that represents this paper have more citations. In this way, we can visualize all the points of the papers on one map, then we can get an overview. And in addition to this visualization design, we also have some interactive design. So we can hover on each point and get like some metadata of their information, like title, match term. And we can also customize selection of the cluster to get some understanding of the topics. And of course, we can also support search. We can type keywords and get a list. That's typical what we can do. So for those features, we record a short video and to demonstrate how it works. Let's take a quick look. So as we can see here, we can zoom out, zoom in, then we can see the overview picture of all the results. We can hover and we can get some detail. And then we can also search. When we tap the keywords, the result will be highlighted on the map instantly. So anytime when we change the keywords, we can see how it's distributed differently. We can also change, we can remove the keywords. And then we can also change the time range of the points. We can set the length of the time. Then we can see those points are emerging on this map. Then we can see how those areas are filled by new points. Then if we want to dive in, then we can zoom in and zoom in. Then we can find, oh, maybe this cluster is quite interesting. It shows some shape. Then we can draw a circle and select this area. Our tool will automatically calculate how many papers in this cluster, what are the topics, what are the time range, and especially we will run some NLP based on the selection. And we can see we can select multiply clusters at one time, and it will be highlighted in different colors. And it will also be listed on the right. So we can see there is a list of the selections. It will show the color, the number of papers, what are topics, basically it's the statistics of the results. Then we can see all the results at one time. Then when we rule out, then we can see, oh, there are some cluster, we made some selection. If we want to check some details, we can click each selection and check their titles and mesh terms to get more deeper understanding. So with this one, we can get more understanding of the result at one peak. Based on this tool, we have some very interesting use cases. So first one is quite directly, it's from the result as demonstrated in the video. We can draw some circles and make some selection on the map. So we can identify some topics. For example, like the bottom one, we found that it's all related to like COVID-19 and SARS coronavirus. And we found maybe it's quite useful when we do systematic review. For example, if we have some research related to this topic, we can zoom in to that area. And maybe we can search and we can see, oh, there's a small subset more relevant to our review or research. We can circle that subset and get the summarize of the keywords. And then we can use the keywords to refine our search strategy to get a better system review search scope. Then that can be quite helpful for the system review. And also similarly, we can identify the trend over time because we can use a color to color each point on the map. So we can see that some empty space previously was empty. Now it can be filled with some points colored, and we can identify those color points to know what the topic is. And then we can see there are some emerging field on this map. Like for example, on the bottom of the here, so we can see there is a SARS-CoV coronavirus, this topic. Basically, it happens like 20 years ago. And at that time, you know, coronavirus just spread, and also a lot of study shows. Then in this area, the studies appears, and on this area, previously there's no study. And now we know there's COVID-19 pandemic, and a lot of studies published in this area as well. And it's just next to the SARS area because maybe they all relate to coronavirus and also have some similarities. So we can identify this new emerging field on this map. And similarly, because my major is on computer science, so I'm quite familiar with the deep learning part. In like 10 years ago, like 2012, the deep learning techniques is very popular, and a lot of studies also published. It can be applied in this biomedical field. So we can identify this cluster around here. Previously, it's not there. So inspired by this temporal trend and the emerging field, we can identify some very interesting use case about using this one. So we can use it to measure the journal novelty, or maybe it's a knowledge field. So for example, we have a very mini journal. It published like 9 papers last year. And we can light each paper as a point on this map. So we have 9 points on this map. And for these 9 papers, we can use 5 circles to cover all the 9 papers. So we can define a right field of these papers. Then maybe this year, this mini journal just published like 5 papers, and 3 we can identify like there are 3 papers overlapped with the existing red circle, and there are 2 outside of the red area. Then we can see these 2 papers maybe can represent something new in this field, and this journal expand its research field, and we can use 2 green circles to represent this expansion and growth. And then we can measure, this journal's knowledge field are extended by 2 this year. So this method is quite simple, just calculate the coverage of the points on this semantic space. But when we use this method to analyze the real journal, we found something interesting. So as shown in this figure, we can see like we list 3 journals here. At the beginning, when they are just published, you can see a large peak there that represents when this journal enters this new area. A lot of new things are just published, so everything is new. And as time goes by, the line just drop down. That means they may more focus on the specific area. And an interesting thing is that we found that the Lancet and the New England Journal of Medicine, they have a second peak around like 1970s. We don't know yet what it's about. Maybe they found something new, or maybe a new method, or maybe something new. But there's still a peak. That means it's definitely there, something there. And another interesting is about the proceedings of the National Medical Science, the PNS. It's the green line shows that it's a very stable green line that indicates a lot of new papers are published in different fields every year, and it's also increasing fast. So we can see this line is grow and it's quite stable. So we think maybe this can reflect some publication policy that may encourage the exploration of new fields. We found that these things can be quite interesting, and we want to explore more of journals and patents in the future. So that's the case. And for the next step, we are still working on the large language model, and we want to integrate more large language model into our tool. Like we can support like automatic summarization to summarize the text based on the selection. And we can also identify those empty space based on large language model to get some prediction. We can also have a chat UI, then we can chat with our selection. Oh, what's the topics of the selection area? And maybe you can suggest what I can do for the next search. And also we want to improve the navigation. We can support like 3D navigation in this area. Then we can have better understanding of how it looks like. And of course, we want to test our method in more larger data sets like the whole PubMed or maybe Web Sense that will be much larger. And we are happy to have more collaborations with other teams on the specific domains. Okay. And last, I want to thank all our lab members and students and collaborators for their contributions and dedication and supports in our project and get some feedback. Yeah, thank all of them. Okay, I guess that's all I have.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So we do have time for 1 or 2 questions.
Hello again. Sorry, I asked too many questions. Will you be open sourcing the process for the visualization tool on GitHub? And then second is, I think it's a great tool to be used on clinical notes and patient charts, because then you can really do something for population health.
Yeah, that's a great question. So for the tool itself, yes, we will release like an open source version for public exploration for the public data site, like those PubMed paper. It's all free, so we can also provide those exploration on GitHub, hosting a small website, so user can log in, and login is not required. So you can just go to that website, then load the data site, then you can explore. So everything will be like open sourced on GitHub. And for the next question about yes, we are planning to use like our tool to explore the HR notes or other text information. As long as we can change those information into text embedding, then we can plot it in this 2D map and get some like clusters or patterns and see how things changes over time. So I think that's would be very interesting exploration in the next step. Thank you.
I also had a question. Do you plan to do any like user studies to know if people prefer this new interface or like the older interface?
Yeah, that's a great question. Definitely for UI and user interface studies, usually we will have like evaluation on the usability and user satisfaction. So we have some domain experts on specific domains. They already give some feedback on the design. So like the coloring previously it's a whole dark color, but it's maybe sometimes it's not good to show some patterns there. And we get their feedback and change the UI layout and to show more information. I guess once we have some more results and a version released on GitHub, we can import more people, get more people involved and conduct some usability testing. Yeah.
That
Thank
makes
you.
sense. Thanks a lot. Yeah.